Oh, you catch me just as I'm coughing. Appreciate that, Stuart. Quality content, that's going to get edited down. Okay, so we're here looking at Star Trek Online. We have taken a look at it previously on PC and had a bit of a play around with it. But now we're moving over onto consoles, so we're changing it up a little bit. Have you guys found much of a challenge bringing it across and making a change from keyboard and mouse to controller?
Absolutely. That was our first major challenge. Before we decided to move forward with the project, we had to make sure that it played well with the controller. So we sat down and we prototyped for quite a while until we found what we felt was really workable. And once we had that, we said, okay, we can make STO fun on a controller. Let's make the full game. So once we had the controller behind us, we moved forward and said, we want to improve the lightings. We want to bring the visual fidelity up to what we expect for a current generation game. Mm-hmm. So we've got HDR lighting, we've got deferred rendering, we've got light probes, diffuse probes. It just really makes the game pop and really makes it look modern. And then, of course, the UI, which we're rebuilding from scratch, top to bottom, back end for performance, front end for console. Because as a console first player, I want to make sure that it feels like a console experience, not a PC experience that feels better with a mouse than it does with a controller.
That's it, we just kind of roughly coupled it across or something like that. But no, one of the things that we've noticed as we've been playing around on it just behind me here, is the changes in all of your different skills or attacks on the controller. You've got a new wheel. Can you talk about that a bit? Because I think that really works. I was kind of a little pessimistic, in all honesty, before I came down here. But having seen it in action, I think it's really worked for you. So can you talk around that?
Sure. So again, I'm a console player and a lot of console players are Cryptic, so we wanted to make sure it felt good. So what we have is the wheel, as you mentioned, for your bridge officer powers and captain powers. By holding down, we'll say the B button, you bring up a wheel for all of your tactical powers, and you can easily access all of them. And you can also easily fire all of them in succession just by pulling the right trigger on every one by scrolling through. So you can scroll through and activate 5 or 8 powers in about 3 or 4 seconds. But when there's even more powers than that, we've introduced the auto fire mechanic, which allows players to set their abilities to fire at specific intervals. So you could say, engineering team, I want you to heal me when I'm at 50% health, or you can say heal me when I'm at 75% health, or you can have it cleanse a debuff that gets applied to you when that debuff gets applied. So you can select how your powers interact with you. So you can choose which ones you want to activate manually, which ones activate automatically, or which ones you want to run off of the wheel. And then you have hotkeys as well. So you can say, one power in every category, I want to be able to instantly access just by tapping the button. So we've given the player a wide variety of options to make sure that they can cover everything possible and have full tactical immersion in the game.
Absolutely, and as I say, from us having played it for a short while here today already, it feels really intuitive. It works a lot better than you would kind of almost expect it to, because again, whenever you think port from PC, you kind of think, oh well, we're just going to map the enter key to the A button and that'll be fine, that'll do. But no, it actually does work, and it shows it's been built from the ground up. So one of the kind of big questions, I suppose, around it is how close to date are you going to be with the content that you're bringing across onto the consoles, and how is that going to maintain going forward?
So we haven't really announced exactly how much of the content's going to go with launch, but it's going to be a significant portion of it will be going with launch, and then we'll catch up in relatively short order and make sure we're as current as possible, and then will be PC first, but then just a few weeks later, every release will come to both consoles simultaneously, Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So onto PC and then directly, just shortly thereafter, onto consoles. So that's the cadence we're hoping to keep once we catch everything up.
Fantastic. And then finally, for the future of Star Trek Online on any platform altogether, what plans have you guys got for content further down the line, or any changes you're going to make further down the line?
Sure. So just coming up in about 3 weeks, we've got our next expansion 3, Agents of Yesterday. This is the 50th anniversary of Star Trek, so we're going back to the original series era, and you'll be able to make a brand new captain from that era. You get to play with all the 60s environments and 60s sets. It's very cool.
Do you get to make the noise yourself, or is it in the game?
You can make that yourself as you're playing, but it's also in the game for you. There's little guys behind the doors, pulling them open and close. But we've actually, as we're sitting here 3 weeks away from launching our next expansion, we've already been sitting down planning the next expansion after that.
Wonderful.
So there's a long road ahead of Star Trek Online, including all the content that we'll be delivering to the console when it launches later this year.
Wonderful. Well, we're definitely going to be keeping up with Star Trek Online. I'm actually a lot more tempted to dip into it than I was before. I'm probably going to end up jumping onto my PS4. So yeah, expect some content around Star Trek Online from us soon. And thanks for your time and for talking to us today.
No problem. Thanks for coming.